Hello, everybody. So we're going to be talking today about multiplication. We're going to start in one of the most basic ways of multiplication, which is grouping and skip counting. I know that you've been doing grouping and skip counting for a long time. So now we're just kind of give it a different name, and we're going to add some few tips and tricks to that. So what we have here is on the screen, it says draw equal groups and then skip count to find out how many. This is chapter 3, lesson 1, I think, if you're in Go Math, and if you are in Saxon or iReady or another group, these things will be found in the book. There will be groupings, there will be all sorts of foundational multiplication skills in 3rd grade. But just for ease, this is coming out of the Go Math book. I'm using my makeshift whiteboard that is in the learning bag. We're going to be working also with the whiteboard and the number line in a little bit. So I'm going to have 2 groups of 6. So first thing I'm going to do is draw a group of 6. And to show that that is a group, I am going to just draw my line. There's a group. Then I'm going to draw another group of 6 and draw that as a group as well. So when I count how many, I would skip count 6, 12, and that will be my answer. So 2 groups of 6, or skip counting by 6s, 2 times will give me 12. 3 groups of 2. So I'm going to do, here's 2, here's 2, and here's 2. And then I am going to group them. And maybe this pink pen will work a little bit better. So I'm going to group 1. Oh, that works a lot better. 2 and 3. So if I skip count by 2s, I'll have 2, 4, 6. So 3 groups of 2, or 3 times 2, 3 groups, 2 in each group, will give me a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots, or 2, 4, 6. Now, we're just going to change that around and go the opposite direction. So I'm going to count how many, so count the equal groups to find out how many. So I'm going to count how many groups there are. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 groups, 4 big circles. So each grouping is one of these large circles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 groups of, and then it's how many dots are inside each group. So 1, 2, 3, and there's 3 in each. So 4 groups of 3. And if we skip count by 3s, we'll have 3, 6, 9, and you probably guessed it, the last one is 12 in all. This one's a little bit different in that it has a few more dots on the inside than the others that we've been trying. But I'm going to count my groups first with 1, 2, 3 groups. So I'll have 3 groups of, and then we just count how many are in each. And this one looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 groups of 7. So I'm going to have 7, 14, 21 in all. So that is the first step. So whether you're drawing it, remember that the groups are kind of the outside big circle, and then the number is the number of dots that are on the inside. As you get along in your mathematical careers, you also figure out that of means multiply. So we're starting you off right now on the right foot. We're going to go and switch over to the other side, which in this case, this was on page 103 in the Go Math book. I am going to be skipping ahead This is on page 110. 110 in the Go Math book. And we're doing similar things, but we're doing it on a number line. So, like what? I've never done multiplication on a number line before. Well, before today, neither had I. So it can be a learning experience for both of us. So this one says skip count by drawing jumps on the number line. Find how many in 5 jumps of 4. Then write the product. So the product here, this is a word. It is a math vocabulary term, and the product is the answer to a multiplication. Let's see if I left myself enough room. A multiplication problem. That looks really hard to read. So I am going to erase the bolder black pen, change to my thinner pink marker, and the product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Okay, so we're going to do 5 jumps, and each jump we're going to go 4 spaces. So jump 1 to 4, jump 2 to 8, 3 to 12, 12, and then 4 more. So if I get hung up, I'm going to count myself ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I want, I can even start at the 16 and jump backwards so I know that my jumps are the same. And I can even count up 16, 1, 2, 3, 4. And my next one is going to go to 20. So we jumped 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps, 4 jumps, and 5 jumps. So 5 jumps and then 4 in each jump get us to here, the ending, where it says 20. And that will be our answer. So 5 jumps of 4 each time is 20. Try this one more time. This you may have remembered from your earlier grades. We have them in multiplication or addition and subtraction, but we also have them in multiplication and division, and that's called a fact family. And we're going to be working with this fact family of 3 and 8 and whatever number it comes out to be. So this one, I'm going to do 3 groups, so 3 jumps, and there's going to be 8 in each jump. One of the ways I can do this to help keep me organized is I'm going to count to 8. I'm going to put like a dot or something there so I know where I'm going. So then when I jump, go from 0 to 8, and then I can count ahead 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you prefer to go forward or backward, and then we have one more group of 8 to go. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I know that my last jump is going to go from here all the way to that last dot at 24. So the number of jumps that we have is here is 1, 2, 3, which is this number. And how many are in each jump? Well, we counted them. There's 8. So 3 times 8 gives us our final destination point, which in this case is 24. Now we're going to do this a little bit differently, and I want to see if we can figure out if it will come out to the same answer. Now we have 8 groups of 3. I think to myself, 8 groups of 3, is that the same as 3 groups of 8? Will it work? I know 3 plus 2 is 5, and 2 plus 3 is 5, so maybe it'll work in multiplication. There's only one way to find out, and that's to draw on our number line. So that's what we're going to do. So 8 groups of 3. So I'm going to go 3, counts, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Yay! But I need to count how many jumps that I've made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I need to make one more jump because I need to do 8 groups. So one more, and what do you know? Here we are, number 8, and we arrived at the exact same spot. So we have shown, we can say that 3 times 8 is the same as 8 times 3 because they both have a total of 24. And now we're just going to do this a little bit backwards or reverse. It's not necessarily backwards. It's more in a reverse way. And again, these are kind of like the guided pages. There's still pages in the Go Math book for the on your own, so you can have some independent practice on this. I don't want to take all the fun out of this for you. So I'm going to count how many jumps I have. I have 1 jump, and I have 2 jumps. So that is my number of groups. So that's going to be the first number in my number sentence, 2. And then I'm going to count to see how many are in each group. And I can see where it stops here is at 9. So each group has 9. And then our total, so where it stops, is 18. So 2 times 9 equals 18. So if you are a big fan of the number line method and you come up to a multiplication problem that maybe you don't have the number lines on here for, what we do have is, this came in the learning book. So here's number lines. You can do the same thing. So let's say this is 0. I'm going to call this 10 because it's easier to just write the 0 at the end. Then if I have a multiplication problem that says 3 times 3 equals a number, I can draw. So if this is 10, I know this is about 5 because it's about halfway. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to number them so I stay nice and organized. And if they are a little bit closer together or a little bit farther apart, that's completely okay, as long as we're doing our numbers the same when we jump. I know it can be challenging to get them equally spaced or not equally spaced. It's okay. As long as the numbers are there, the math should work. So we are looking for 3 groups. So we're going to be making 3 jumps, and each jump is going to have 3 number spaces in it, or 3 number spaces in it if you like it down there better. So our first jump is going to go from 0 to 3. We're going to count 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Next is 6. And 1 more. 1, 2, 3. All the way to 9. And 3 as it is the perfect number, especially if you watch a little Schoolhouse Rock. You can even skip count to the song 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. And that will lead us to 3 times 3 equals 9. So whether it is on the paper or on a makeshift whiteboard or on this one here, that's some different ways to use groups and number lines to start with multiplication. One of the next times we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on this other side, which is called an array. And we're going to look at doing multiplication on an array or something like that. If you have any questions at any time, you can always text or email or let me know in Google Classroom. Have a great week.